Hello, everybody. This is Dave again, and we are on our second episode of our free Orion Let's Play series. First episode was just kind of an introduction to the game and a walkthrough on the first turn. Lots of setup going on. This will not be a one turn per episode series. That'd be a little crazy. Most of the time in this game, you're usually clicking on next turn, next turn, next turn. So the first turn would just require a lot of setup. Another change here is that I updated the version that we're running on. We're still running on a 0.4.2 pre-release version, but it's pre-release 3 now. Previously, I was running pre-release 2. One other minor change, and let me go up to the load game here. The LP save file here is not the same one that we left off with in the last episode. I decided, because in the last episode I set the AI difficulty setting, or the expansion setting, to beginner mode, and I felt that it was going to be a little bit more fun if I set it to something a little bit more difficult, especially now that I've been playing it with the game. This is another one of my save files. I've been playing with the game a little bit, so I'm a little bit more comfortable with the AI and how aggressive it gets and everything like that. So I upped the difficulty level up to typical now, which is the middle of the road for how fast the AI expands. So let's go ahead and open it up. Another thing I wanted to mention too is that in the last episode, episode 1, one of the developers left a comment on the YouTube video. I wanted to point out that this is not a clone for Masters of Orion or any other game, although it does borrow a lot from the 4X genre in general. So it's not meant to be an identical clone of any game. It is just meant to kind of draw upon the entire genre. So I think it does a pretty good job. I've been playing with the game outside of the LP on different galaxy maps and other things. The AI is very opportunistic. It doesn't, if you let your guard down, it will take advantage of you, so you have to be careful about that. So the way I left this, this is a new save game, but I made sure that the production queue and, let's see here, the production queue, I just have the one marked one, and the research queue, which is all these guys, are the same as what they were when I left the game left off last time. I'm going to make some changes though, and I'm going to do that in game here. I'm still going to stick with the same general strategy, kind of have these like filler research things going on, just so you know I'm not constantly going back to the research queue every time I run out of things, or these things start to peter out. But I'm going to move the important stuff up to the top. Now these ones have higher number of research points associated with them, so they do take longer, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep a planetary garrison up there. Okay. So these guys have more research points associated with them, the 24, 32, and 24 if I recall correctly, than these guys, which have like 6 and 8. But these are important because these increase the industry focus, or industry output. This also increases industry output for planets with industry focus, and this one increases target research for research focused planets. To start the game off with, I usually start off with industry focus, and then I take one or two and move them to research focus, just to kind of speed things along in the research queue. But I wanted to move these up closer to the top so that they get looked at first. The rest of them, when these are done, the rest of them, these will get researched, and none of them are really all that important. These are just more or less precursors to more advanced techs that actually do something for the player. Anything else going on? Oh yeah, one other parameter I did decide to scale back a bit was the number of specials. So this planet is normal now. It doesn't have that infrastructure penalty associated with it. I still have my 2 scouts ready to go. One of them is going to go here. One of them is going to go here. And they both will take 1 turn. So here we go. Magic turn button. Takes a few minutes or seconds. And now we have our situation report. Now I didn't load this up in the last game because we didn't have anything to report yet because I hadn't hit the turn button yet. But this is just telling me that I had 2 scout fleets. They arrived at 2 different systems. One of my ships got refueled. And I can expand this a little bit. One of my ships got refueled, and I got information on the area. Now, that's really cool because that saves a lot of time with regards to exploration. Now, if you're familiar with Civilization, the worst possible goody hut bonus that you could ever hope for is you found the remains of a map of the surrounding area in the discovered ruins. And anybody who's played Civilization knows that that's actually one of the worst things that you could possibly get as far as getting when you run into a goody hut, because the map that you end up getting only covers a little itty bitty tiny area, and on top of that, you have, if you run into abandoned ruins, you probably have a scout anyways, and you're just going to end up exploring the area anyways, no matter what. So what's the point? Well, this game is much more powerful to do this, because in this game I just can't send scouts to everywhere in the galaxy. I'd run out of fuel, and it would just take much longer because it just takes scouts a while to get to point A to point B anywho. And I'd have to navigate around these monsters, which block this area. These monsters here, ooh, this is a good one. The monsters can be very powerful or very weak. This one is very strong. It has 1.6 thousand hearts. So max structure is 1.6. Not a horribly strong damage wise, so it won't kill off your fleet if you go walk in there, unless you have like a very weak ship like a scout or something like that. But it'll take forever to kill, so we don't want to go in there. But if we go to, say, one of these guys, this guy's probably a little less strong. Okay, this one has only 35 hearts, so that'll be nice. With only 35 hearts, that means that I can go in there and probably wipe him out early on in the game, probably within like the first 20 turns. He's pretty close by to my homeworld, so I just might do that. Let's take a look at the planet in question. And let's take a look at planet suitability. Okay, so this is a poor planet. I don't want to occupy this, at least not with my human species. And that's the only species I have right now, so that's what I started off with. Oops, I hit the escape button. So I'll just kind of plunk this here. I'm used to playing full screen, but because I'm recording a video and it would probably look weird, especially for readability purposes, I'm playing in windowed mode for the LP. So around here, let's take a look at these 2 planets. I got a small toxic planet and a medium infernal planet, and both of these, I'm not going to look at them in detail, but these are hostile planets. I don't want those. There's a gas giant there that you can set up outposts there, and eventually we'll want to. Now this is nice. A tiny ocean, planet suitability. It doesn't look like much. It says 0.0. That's the max population number, by the way. So anything that's 0 or lower is bad, because any colonies you throw on there will die. But it's adequate. Adequate will be important because as the game progresses, I will have improvements on my habitability sphere that will bring this number up above 1.0, and 1.0 is the magic number. Because if I can colonize a planet that has 1.0 or higher max population, I can terraform it, and that'll be important later on in the game. So I know I have this nice little planet right here. It's a medium planet, but I want to kind of also expand my territory, because these supply lines only go out further if I colonize further. So even though the planet I have at home is better, I'm going to go ahead and colonize this guy. I'm going to leave my battle fleet at home, though. Now, I don't have any bad guys to worry about around here or anywhere nearby. It looks like I have this entire area to myself from looks of things, except it looks like there's somebody maybe encroaching from here. That's an AI. Any color other than gray that's coming in that's not you, that's going to be an AI. Alright. Anything else I need to do? No. I don't have exclamation marks above here or here. That means my research and production queues are still full. Still producing that Mark 1 spaceships, so we'll let that go. And Pedia. There's one other item that I have yet to show in this game yet, and that's going to be, oops, it's not the sit rep, the design screen. And I'll just kind of go into there, just kind of show what it looks like. These are the different types of hulls that are available to you, and these are the different types of ships that are available to you. Right now I just have the Mark 1. These are auto-designed ships. They come, you know, whenever you discover something, sometimes you get an auto-designed ship that comes along with it. And for now, I'm going to stick with the ones that come by default with the Discover technologies. But as you get more advanced and there's more options available to you to add to the spaceships, like for example, I can add 2 things here. So I might want to add 2 lasers, or I'm sorry, 2 mass drivers and some extra fuel tank or shield or something like that. I can definitely do that, but I will not be doing that in this case because it's not really beneficial at this point. So, alright, let's go ahead and hit enter. Okay, my colony has not quite reached the planet yet because it's taking a little bit of time. Now, subterranean habitation has just been researched. Planet suitability still 0, so I guess that just applies to habitable planets or good quality planets. Some of these modifiers, like the subterranean, if you recall, improved the maximum population of colonies by 1. And if we look here, the population is now higher. Target population is 24, where earlier it was just 20. So just researching that technology alone was sufficient to increase the maximum population on my planet. I did not have to build any extra buildings or anything like that. Kind of handy. Okay, so I got nothing to do here. Just got to wait for that colony to arrive at that star system. So we'll click the turn button again. Okay, now I do have an exclamation mark, but we'll get back to that in a second. And now I haven't been exploring my scouts. It did kind of dawn on me I probably should be doing that, but since I found found that map, I don't really need to explore all that much. I'm pretty good and set. But if we go here, add the 2 ships here, my scout fleet and my colony fleet. So I'm going to go ahead and colonize this medium Tyrion planet. Now it says cancel colonization. It does take 1 turn to colonize, so it doesn't colonize right away. You have to wait a bit. Is there anything else that I can do? No? Alright. Tectonically unstable. I'll have to keep that in mind. Now swamp is... let me double check swamps. Poor. Okay. That's fine. I might eventually get swamps. You can also find species, native species in here that you can conquer with troop ships. And I'm going to see if there's any around here. No, that's just gas giants, which isn't helpful. No. Nope. Nope. I hope I can find one here. Nope. Ocean planets, that's nice. Sometimes, oh, here we go. Medium Tyrion planet. Well, that's the kind of planets that humans like to occupy, which isn't promising. There's a population here of Selexians. Let's take a look at those. Uh-oh, no industry. Bad research. Average population, average ground troops. Wow, these guys are... yeah, they're special. They cannot produce ships. They can colonize planets. I don't know why you would want them to colonize planets. And they're on my planet. I want this planet. Well, we're going to have to do something about that. Fortunately, there is something you can do about that. You can be really evil in this game. You can conquer the planet and then tell them all to leave, which is what I'm going to do. They do have robotic metabolism. So if they were to go onto a planet that had a robotic bonus to it, and there's certain bonuses that are specific to the certain types of species traits, robotic being one of them. Humans are organic, The robotic ones can benefit from any certain types of planet um, specials. I will not be taking advantage of that. So I'm going to take that planet over, that's for sure. But I'm not going to keep that species. Let's see, is there anything else? I think that's it. Ooh. I have like a bunch of radiated planets around me. Oh, okay, I do have an ocean planet. Problem with ocean planets, though, is that humans can occupy ocean planets, and then I can terraform them later. So these guys, let's take a look at them. Bad industry, average research, average ground troops. They do have one heck of a detection range. And here's something else you gotta watch out for these guys, and I just remembered this. Reason for staying, that's never a good sign. Cannot colonize planets. Okay. These guys aren't anything special to begin with, although they have one heck of a detection range. The problem is that they can't produce ships that can't colonize planets, so they're just kind of like sitting there. If I were to conquer this planet, I'd have these guys that could see very far, but yeah, they're not really all that great. Okay, so I don't have a lot of the planets or species around here. It's kind of unfortunate. Another one of these guys. Oh. Boo. Okay. I suppose I better do something about this before I forget. Alright, so Mark 1 is almost complete. Fortunately, the game is smart enough, so it doesn't wait until the thing is completed, because your production points can bleed over to the next project that is available to you. So in this particular case, the Mark 1 is almost complete. I got one turn left. I'm going to have leftover production points after this is done, so those will automatically go to the next one, but I don't have the next one yet, and that's why my production points are going to be wasted. You can tell how many are going to be wasted, in this case 6. That's a lot. That's like about a third of my total production, so I don't want to waste that many production. In this case, since I have this wonderful little medium Terran planet, I'm going to go ahead and create a colony base. Now this is different from a ship. A base cannot travel between stars, but I don't need to travel between stars. I just need to colonize a planet within my system. So we'll do that. Colonize early, colonize often. There's not a lot in the way of threats that are sitting around me, so this is a great way to start the game off, is just try to get as many planets as I can underneath my under my control, and then I can spread out from there. Alright, so the exclamation point is gone. Let's hit the turn button one more time. Bam! Alright, so look at that. I got a nice thick line here between my two planets. I just colonized, and I just remembered I was going to do this before I forget. That's a question mark there. That's a planet that I have yet to explore. This guy can stay here because there's nothing around here to explore. But alright, let's go back to this guy. Okay, I got 1.12. Every colony starts with 1, and these guys grew a little bit since colonization, so next turn we'll go to 1.25. They start small. They do start growing pretty quick. Once they get up to 5 or 6, they start skyrocketing pretty quickly. Next thing you know, you have a fully habitable planet. That is A-OK by me. Troops. Yeah, I don't have a lot of self-defense on this planet. Don't need to worry about that. The monsters are very rarely mobile. There are sometimes mobile monsters, so we'll worry about that when that comes around. Anything else I need to do? I'm going to leave this at production focus. Outside of that, I think we are good, so let's get rid of that. And turn. See, I'm going to try to get to turn 10 here. Okay, nothing big happened. I didn't even have a sit rep. Planetary garrison has been researched. That's the one that's increased the defensibility of my planets. Not a major concern, but it's always good to get that one out of the way. Alright, so here, my scout has just discovered another star system. Let's go down here. Anything tiny ocean, medium swamp. And swamps are poor, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Alright, so... the screen is so small. Get back to my regular game so I can play full screen. Okay. Production queue. Telling me I need to add something else. Now, it says here I've only got 4 turns left. And that seems odd that I would have the exclamation point here. What this is telling me, though, is, remember, production is split up in a couple of different ways. Like, if something takes an X number of production points and you only have Y number of production points available per turn, you divide X by Y, that's the number of turns it takes. But items also have a minimum number of turns, and you can kind of see here. No, that's basic shipyard. So this guy, if I were to, choose him, he'd probably say like there's 8. This is going to take like a minimum of 8 turns. So if I have more production points, it's not going to build the colony base any faster because I've reached that limit. It takes a minimum of 8 turns, and I'm not going to build any faster than 8 turns. That's the limit. So if I do hit that, that means I'm going to have bleed over in here. It's only 0.10 out of 17. Not a big deal, but I'd like to use those points for something else, and that could shave a turn or 2 off down the road. So let's go ahead, go back to ships. Oops, no. Oh, and you got to watch out for this too, because you got to see what planet you're settled on here. That's a good idea. I should build a basic shipyard here. 3 turns. Okay, that's not bad. We can do that. And then down here, we can build, a Mark II. Alright, why don't we do that? Mark II is going to have our more advanced Mass Driver 2. Mark I only had the Mark 1, or the Mass Driver 1. Mark II has a Mass Driver 2. So we'll go ahead and have that. That's going to sit there in gray. That means it's not actively being worked, but it will eventually be worked. Sooner rather than later, because these turns do go by pretty quick. And now we're at turn 10. Didn't take too long, and it would have taken a lot less time, but since I'm doing a video here trying to explain what I'm doing, it just took a little bit of extra time to say what's going on and everything like that. Okay, that's interesting. I'll just go ahead and set you to go over there. This is a deep space area. Nothing going on here. It just happens to be a star lane pointing in that direction. And there really isn't anything else to discover here, so this scout can kind of go away. In fact, when I do that, I'll show you how to do that. Right click, scrap ships, bam, not a problem anymore. And you can reverse that too if you want to. Yeah, you can cancel scrapping ships you like. If you're like, oh no, wait, I wanted to keep those, you have the option. But when you hit that turn button, these guys do go away. And I don't even think you get anything in return from them. They just disappear. So, alright, so that's turn 10. And 23 minutes, not bad. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you for watching episode 2. Episode 3, we will continue exploring and colonizing additional planets. I was kind of hoping there would be native species that were close by that I could actually use. Like some native species go on planets that are way outside your habitable zone, like Inferno or toxic planets, but there just doesn't seem to be that many of them around me. We'll have to find them. Alright, well, you guys have a great day, and I will talk at you later.